Hello guys. So in this session we are going to learn how to integrate AWS EKS with Jenkins. So let's start. So first of all, here to integrate AWS EKS with Jenkins, here we need a EKS cluster, right? So here I have already create my cluster. If I run the kubectl get nodes command, then as you can see, two nodes, right? That means I have successfully created my EKS cluster, right? So if you don't know how to create EKS cluster, then you can use this use this article. You can follow the article. You can see this is my article. So you can follow this article to create Amazon EKS cluster using EKS right? So you can follow this article to create your EKS cluster. But here I have already created my EKS cluster, right? Okay. Now here we are going to learn how to integrate AWS EKS with Jenkins. Okay. So first of all, here as you can see, methods. You can see methods, or you can also say scenarios to integrate AWS EKS with Jenkins, right? So first of all, here we are going to learn connect AWS EKS from Jenkins using SSH. Then next is we are going to learn Jenkins server running on AWS EKS Management Node. And after that, we are going to learn Jenkins server running out of the Kubernetes cluster, right? So that's the scenario to integrate AWS EKS with Jenkins, right? So first of all, we need a Jenkins. So that's why we need to install Jenkins on our EKS cluster, right? So we have already create the EKS cluster, right? So let's install Jenkins. So how to install? So this is the official site of Jenkins, as you can see. So here, if you want to install the latest version of your Jenkins, then you can go to the official site. So this is the official site of Jenkins. You can see. So here you can see in right side user handbook. So here you can see installing Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, Linux, macOS, and so on. You can see the operating system. So our operating system is Ubuntu, right? So I'm going to select Ubuntu. So you can see the commands to install Jenkins. But before installing Jenkins, remember one thing, that we need a Java. Before installing Jenkins, we need to install Java first. Okay. Remember one thing, before installing Jenkins, we need a Java. So here you can see installation of Java. So you can see the commands to update the Debian apt repository, install OpenJDK 17 and change the installation. Okay. So you can also use these commands to Ubuntu. So that's why first of all I'm going to update my system package using sudo apt-get update. So it's done. Now the next is let's install OpenJDK 17, right? So let's copy the command and paste here. So yes, I want to install. So as you can see, it's installing OpenJDK 17 on our Ubuntu 22.04 LTS. So wait for few seconds. It takes few seconds to install. Okay, so it's done. So let's check the version. So let me clear the screen first and let's run the command java-version. So as you can see the details of about our Java OpenJDK version 17.0.8.1 and the date and timing and OpenJDK runtime environment, OpenJDK 60-bit server and so on, right? So this is the details about our Java version. So we have successfully installed Java. So we have successfully created EKS cluster. Right now we are going to install Jenkins. It's time to install Jenkins, right? So let's install Jenkins. Select your operating system and the command is here, right? So I'm going to use this command to install Jenkins. So first of all, I'm going to run this command with curl. Okay, it's done. Now let's run the next command. Okay, it's also done. Now Let's update our system package using sudo apt-get update. Okay, now it's time to install Jenkins. So let's install Jenkins using sudo apt-get update. Sudo apt-get install Jenkins. So yes, I want to install. So as you can see, it's installing Jenkins on our Ubuntu 22.04 LTS. So it takes few seconds. So wait for few seconds. Okay, as you can see, it's done, right? So we have successfully installed Jenkins on our Ubuntu 22.04 LTS, right? So how to access Jenkins in our browser, right? So first of all, we need a, okay, first of all, before accessing browser, first of all we need to start our Jenkins, right? We need to enable our Jenkins. So the command is here. If you scroll down, you can see start Jenkins. So first of all, let's enable our Jenkins first, and then start, and then let's check the status, right? So I'm going to enable my Jenkins. Okay, then let me clear first screen first, and now let's start our Jenkins first. Okay, now let's check the status. So as you know, the command to check status, sudo systemctl status Jenkins. So as you can see, it's active running, right? That means you have successfully installed Jenkins on our Ubuntu 22.04 LTS. Okay. Now we have Jenkins, we have Java, and we have EKS cluster, right? Okay. Now let's access our Jenkins in our browser. So how to access? So first of all, we need our instance IP, right? So this is our instance that we have installed EKS, Jenkins, and Java. So I'm going to copy my instance IP and hit on browser, and then colon, and the port number is 80804 for Jenkins. So okay, so as you can see, sign in command. So first of all, unlock Jenkins. So we need a password to unlock this. So where is the password? So first of all, let's read this. To ensure Jenkins is security set up by the administrator and a password has been written to the log. Not sure where to find it. And this file on the server. Right. So our password file is on our server and the location is here. So let's copy the location and go to the server, and let's edit using my favorite editor sudo nano, and let's paste the path. And as you can see, here is the password. So I'm going to copy my password and let's paste here to continue. Okay, so let's click on continue. There you go. Okay, so firstly, customize Jenkins. So plugins extend Jenkins with additional features to support many different needs. So here I'm going to choose this install suggested plugins. So as you can see, it's getting started. So it takes few seconds to wait for few seconds to start. So as you can see, it's done folders. Then here you can see them build timeout, then credential binding, and then timestamper, so on. So it's getting started. So wait for a few seconds. So the first step is we need to enter the password, and the password is on a server, and we need to enter the location, and then we need to enter this password. After that we need to select install suggested plugins, right? So that's the second step of to start at Jenkins. Now it started. It's almost done. So as you can see, it's done, right? Yeah, it's done. Now it will ask your username, password, confirm password, full name, and then email address. So we need to enter. So my username will be admin, and enter password. After that, confirm password for security. Then full name. So my name also admin, and email address. So I'm going to enter in email address devopsin@gmail.com. Okay. Then click on save and continue. So this is our Jenkins URL. So okay, save and finish. Now click on start using Jenkins. Your Jenkins setup is complete, right? So our Jenkins setup is complete. Now our Jenkins is started. So as you can see the dashboard of Jenkins, and you can see welcome to Jenkins, and the pages where your Jenkins job will be displayed to get started, and you can set up distributed builds or start building a software project, right? So you can see the Jenkins dashboard. Welcome to Jenkins, right? So you can see here. Now we have successfully installed Jenkins, right? So here you can see in top, you can see our admin, that means our username and so on, you can see, right? Then here you can see people, status, build, configure, my views, and credentials. Okay, now it's done. Now let's take the next step. Now here, to integrate Jenkins Server running on AWS EKS Management Node. So first of all, let's check. So that's so for check, here is the command to check the status. Which status? Jenkins Server running on AWS EKS Management Node. Right. So let's check our node is active or not. EKS cluster is active or not. Right. So here is the command. So here first of all, let's enter your cluster name. So my cluster name is sample, then region name. So my region is AP South hyphen one. Right. Okay. So let me check first. AWS EKS describe cluster hyphen hyphen region. Then your region name AP South hyphen one. Then hyphen hyphen name. So my cluster name is sample. Then hyphen hyphen query, and our query is cluster status. So we need to check our cluster status, right? So that's why the query is cluster status. So let's check our cluster status first. So as you can see, it's active. Okay, it's active. Now the next step is here, the pipeline. So we need to create pipeline first, right? So I'm going to copy the pipeline and go to the Jenkins here, and click on new item, and click select this pipeline. So firstly enter name. So I'm going to enter name EKS, then pipeline. Okay. Okay. So now you can see, let's scroll down, and here the script, here try sample pipeline. So here I'm going to paste my pipeline code, right? Okay, so let's check our pipeline first. So as you can see, first of all pipeline, then agent, any stages. So in stage, first of all we are going to integrate EKS cluster with Jenkins, right? So in steps you can see, in script, AWS EKS update kubeconfig hyphen name. So here we need to enter our cluster name. So our cluster name is sample. Then after that, hyphen region. So here we need to enter our region name. So my region name is AP South -1. Then after that, next command is kubectl get ns. It will print our kubectl get ns, right? Okay. So let's check for once. Okay, it's done. Now click on save. Now click on apply. Okay, it's saved. Now let's go to the dashboard, and here click on build for EKS. So it's running, you can see, not build. Why? Now you can see it's building, right? You can see build. Okay, let's check. So click on EKS. So okay, we have error. Why? Because here we need to set the AWS credential to Jenkins. Here, if I click on this error, you can see fail with the following errors. Which error? Here you can see, click on logs, you can see the error. Which error? AWS EKS update kubeconfig hyphen name sample region episode 1. Unable to locate credential. You can configure credential by running AWS configure. We need to configure AWS. But here we have successfully configured our AWS. But we have successfully configured our AWS only for Ubuntu user, not for Jenkins. So first of all, we need to switch to Jenkins, and then we need to configure AWS. So how to switch? So here is the command. So first of all, run sudo su Jenkins to switch Jenkins user, right? Okay, now we are in Jenkins, you can see. And then after that, let's go to the, if you want, then you can go to this location also. Okay, now here, as you can see, run the AWS configure. Now we are in Jenkins user, right? Now let's AWS configure. Now it will ask our AWS access key ID. So here's my AWS access key ID. I'm going to paste here. As well as secret access key ID. Now region is AP South -1. Okay. Now if I run the AWS configure, as you can see, okay, okay, now it's done, right? Now let's go to the Jenkins, and now go to the EKS and click on build now. Okay, now you can see it's building. As you can see, it's succeed, right? You can see it's succeed. So now let's check. So click on this integrate EKS with cluster. So click on this logs. You can see shell script AWS EKS update, and it's done, right? Okay. Now here, let's check the console, right? So first of all, so okay, it succeeded, right? So let's check the console. So how to check? So click on this, and as you can see, console output, right? So started by our user admin, then running on Jenkins here, right? Workspace is here, EKS. Then our kubectl config, our cluster name sample, and then our region name, right? Then here we have print this kubectl get ns. You can see our kube node release active, then public active, and kube system also active, right? So click, as you can see, finished, success. Okay, it's done. So here in this session we have learned these two methods, or you can say scenarios. Which scenarios? Connect to AWS EKS from Jenkins using SSH. We have successfully connected. Then Jenkins server running on AWS EKS Management Node. So we have also done this second. Now the third one we are going to learn in our next session. Okay, we are going to learn this third method, or you can say scenario. This method, Jenkins server running out of the Kubernetes cluster, we are going to learn in our next session. Okay, so thank you for watching.